If you watched Creature Commandos, you know that Clayface died, so how exactly can they make a Clayface film when Clayface is in fact dead? Well, James Gunn directly tackles this by saying, no he's not. The first Marvel Studios project we got was Creature Commandos, and it's a resounding success in my opinion. Certainly the reviews love it, now of course the views, they're not necessarily there, but again, it's animated and it's a different thing. One thing that stuck out to many people that watched Creature Commandos was the fact that Clayface dies in the series. He's dead. Now of course I think most people know that there's multiple versions of Clayface, multiple characters that have taken on the identity of Clayface. Well, recently, James Gunn addressed this whole situation and the DCU Clayface film. And he said that the reports of Clayface's death have been greatly exaggerated and that he is quite mushy. Now, this was him responding to fans on social media who kept bugging him about how can Clayface have a film if he just died. And then, on top of this, he talked a little bit more about some of the other characters and what's going on, talking about how this is a comic book world. It's a comic book universe. And obviously the same rules and everything don't apply as the real world. Now, we just got to take a step back. People are wondering, how does a clay monster survive being ripped into 1,000 shreds, right? Again, he's clay. Who's to say he's not going to have some power like Venom, for example, where the pieces of the clay can all get back to him and he sort of reforms and can grow in size, which we saw he can. You know, they haven't defined his natural abilities or powers or anything like that. That's for the Clayface film. And also, you just got to think about this. Clayface exists in a world where Frankenstein and his bride exist. Superman exists. Batman already exists. Aliens are all over the place, you know? Like, it's a full-on moving DC world. Just think of it like the comics, you know? Like, if you go and watch Batman the Animated Series, which starts off as largely standalone, and you could honestly argue that that was a pre-Nolanized version of Batman, you know? Like, they don't mention any of the other big deal heroes like Superman or anything like that. Technically, you'd have to argue about Clayface being real in that, because, again, it's a real Clayface, right? Like, he's portrayed completely differently, and they managed to explain it. And then, obviously, that cartoon went on and did the New Adventures of Batman and Superman and all that, and the crossover. And it became way more comic book, but you don't need to do that in a universe where everything is simplified and everything's already explained. It's like, yeah, things exist. So I'm positive a giant clay monster getting blown apart into 1,000 pieces isn't something they can, like, you know, not come back from. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will, and if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.